Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Maisa. My number name is 1905111014. I would like to answer the question about Newton test of lexicography. Number 1. To understand what the term entry is, you need to understand the meaning triangle shown in this slide. This triangle relates the concept, the object, the definition, and the designation. The concept is a unit of thought, a mental construct relating an object, real or imagined, with its definition and its designation. This example the one concept shows one concept whose meaning is given by the definition. This example definition assumes that the concept of the telephone or phone is understood. The concept handy is more specific than phone. It means a subclass of it and is defined as a specialization of phone. A term is a linguistic designation of a concept, a word or a phrase. A concept can have other types of designation, a symbol or icon. From now on, I will just say term instead of designation. Since I will always be talking about verbal designation in this course, there can be multiple terms for the same concept. Different terms are used in different contexts, language, country, industry, and etc. This example shows the use of the terms handy in Germany, cellular phone in the US, and mobile in England. The example also shows that there can be variants of a term. In the US, both cellular phone and cell phone are used to designate the same concept. Abbreviations and synonyms are examples of type of variants. As a first approximation, we can say that a term entry is SAP term corresponds to one concept and contains the term for it, and sometimes the definition. Second answer, number 2. The history of the English language really starts with the arrival of three Germanic tribes who invaded Britain during the 5th century AD. These tribes, the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes, crossed the North Sea from what today is Denmark and northern Germany. At the time, the inhabitants of Britain spoke a Celtic language, but most of the Celtic speakers were pushed west and north by invaders, mainly into what is now Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The Angles came from England, and their language was called English, from which the words England and English are derived. Old English. The invading Germanic tribes spoke similar language, which in Britain developed into what we now call Old English. Old English did not sound or look like English today. Native English speakers now would have great difficulty understanding Old English. Nevertheless, about half of the most commonly used words in modern English have Old English roots. The words be, strong, and water, for example, derive from Old English. Old English was spoken until around 1100, Middle English 1100 until 1500. In 1066, William the Conqueror, the Duke of Normandy, part of modern France, invaded and conquered England. The new conquerors, called the Normans, brought with them a kind of French which became the language of the royal court and the ruling and business class. For a period, there was a kind of linguistic class division where the lower class spoke English and the upper class spoke French. In the 4th century, English became dominant in Britain again, but with many French words added. This language is called Middle English. It was the language of the great food culture, but it would still be difficult for native English speakers to understand today. Number 3. The earliest dictionaries were or multilingual lexicons supporting the translation of one language to another. The oldest known example is Akkadian Empire cuneiform tables date to about 2300 BC, which contain Sumerian Akkadian word list. The earliest surviving single language dictionary is the Chinese dictionary from around 300. The first dictionary, which include the English language, were glossaries containing French, Italian, or Latin words along with definition in English. In 1220, John of Garland published a book he titled Dictionarius to aid in Latin diction and coined the term dictionary and early listing of the English words. Although not yet in form, we could recognize today as a dictionary because it was not organized alphabetically with the 8,000 word elementary published by Richard Mulcaster in 1582. Then in 1604, Robert Henry published the first single language dictionary of English titled Table Alphabetical. It features short definition of 3,000 words arranged alphabetically. Before this dictionary were arranged by topic. Samuel Johnson took dictionary to the next level with his production in 1755 of a dictionary of English language. His dictionary remained the standard for over 150 years and is considered by many to be the first modern dictionary. Now the American Noah Webster entered the scene. Noah Webster, 16 October 1758, dissatisfied with his own early education, became an ardent educational reformer. Webster's goal became to standardize American speech, since Americans in different parts of the country use different language. They also spell, pronounce, and use English words differently. His two big achievements result in an enduring influence in both American education and language use. The first was his blueback speller, nicknamed that because of its cover. More than 100 million copies sold, and five generations of Americans learned a consistent way to read, spell, and pronounce English words. Prior to that, and in truth, for many years after its publication, people spell phonetically. I think it's enough for my answer for the midterm test. Thank you.